Hey everyone, welcome. Today I have all of the manicures that I wore for October 2023 to share with you. I ended up wearing 20 different manicures and using 35 different polishes. So let me just show you what I was wearing. This first polish was a polish that I actually wanted to get on my toes. I totally did, and it was the most shifty, beautiful pedicure. So I had to match with a mani, and this one is such a beautiful, glowing pink polish. This one is Only You Can Decide What Breaks You by Bee's Knees Lacquer. Absolutely stunning. This is a pink polish with a like golden to green to blue shimmer, and it is just such a pretty one. I definitely loved this polish and cannot wait to wear it again. The next manicure was kind of a fall skittle. I ended up using 6 polishes to get that mani in, and I got to use one of my special new top coats that I have just been dying to use. I've been waiting to get a OG UP topper for quite some time, and I finally did. This is the Starlight polish. There are many ways to be a hero from Polish Pickup, and this does have that original unicorn pigment in it. So I used this to top my creams, which I started with Julep's Tanea, which is a bright yellow. I used WFK by Olive and June, which I absolutely love. I also used CNH by Olive and June, as well as Urban Night by China Glaze. And for the last one was the brown cream. This one is a no name. This is another julep polish that I have lost the name sticker to. So this is just kind of a brown cream. And of course, I loved this manicure. I absolutely love a Skittle, especially any form of rainbow Skittle. Oh my goodness. This next one was such a strong shimmer. This one had like the most glowy gold shimmer. It pretty much overtook the polish. It was crazy. This one is Bee's Knees Lacquer, Groovy. This one was from Hella Handmade Creations, and this one has kind of a blue base, which you can definitely see here in the bottle, and then it has this kind of golden to almost a red shift, and that's kind of at extreme angles, but mostly you get that golden shimmer action, and oh my goodness, it is just so glowy. So this one was a fun one, definitely interesting, and I can't say I have anything with this strong of a gold shimmer in my collection, so it's definitely an interesting one. And of course, love the name, but yeah, another Bee's Knees lacquer. This next one did not have as many pink glitters as it could have. My bottle has all of the glitters stuck to the bottom and side. I may do a video on how to fix this in the future. I have a couple other polishes I need to fix, and I may as well teach y'all how to do it in case you have any of those types of issues with any of your polishes. It can be devastating to lose a polish, but this one just wasn't the most well blended, and I just need to give it a little mixeroo. But this one has a lot more pink glitters than my mani showed, even though I did really enjoy this mani, and that mani happens to be the one that I wore during my Mackinac Island trip, so it definitely has like a sentimental value now too. But the polish itself almost has like grungy vibes, and I definitely love this one. This is Sassy Cat's Lacquer, the Crystal Ball, and this one was from Smidgen of Us. The next one is from What's Up Nails. I don't have many polishes from them, but this is a beautiful one. This one is Tuscan Harvest, and it's kind of like a limey chartreuse type of color with some pretty silver and blue glitters in there. And once it's on the nail, it almost gives like a glass fleck look, so it's definitely a beautiful one. It's kind of like a spruced up cream. This next one is definitely another super shifter. This one is Spillin' Tea by Sassy Sauce. This one definitely has like a rainbowy shift throughout it. It has red to gold to green and blue and purple on extreme angles. It's got these beautiful flakies all throughout it, and it's in like a purple jelly type of base. really beautiful one. It is absolutely stunning, and it is definitely one I would recommend if you're looking for a super shifty polish. The next one is one of my favorite orange polishes. This one is the Chariot by Crystal Knockout, and this one is definitely one that I love to wear every fall. It is super warm and autumnal, and I just love it. This next mani I kind of have mixed feelings about. It was really beautiful, but I do have a foil lavender looking color like this with the linear hollow in it. So even though there was some added flakes, I felt like the topper that I used made it really similar to a polish I already have, and I felt like that was a little redundant. I could have just used the polish I had that already had those linear effects in there and then thrown a flaky on top of it or something. I don't know. It turned out really beautiful though, and I used two different polishes. I used Olive and June's Lilac Shimmer. I absolutely love this polish. It is one of my faves in my collection, and it is definitely a stunner. And then I went ahead and topped it with Happy Gruyere, which is a limited edition topper from Linby Designs. This was a holiday release, and this is absolutely gorgeous. The flakies are really shifty, and again, it's got that like linear hollow in there, so super beautiful. The next one is kind of like a nude mani but better. I went in with a unnamed OPI nude polish, and then I topped it with a gold glitter. This one also has no name. This one is a julep, and it just doesn't have the name sticker anymore. But both of these happen to be in my current project polish, and I absolutely loved the way that they worked together. The next mani was really fun. I love a pink and blue combo. The only problem was that I used two different polishes that have really delicate elements in them. And when you wear them together, you don't really get to see the elements as much. I don't know why, but looking through the photos, I did not see any other than one that kind of had those particles showing. And I feel like it was the combo of the polishes, because on their own, either of these polishes, you can see the elements within them when you photograph them. So that was a little bit interesting. But I ended up going in and topping this. I did wear it on its own for like a day, and then I wore it with a topper for a day or two. This one is the Cocktail Topper by Color Craze, and I absolutely love this topper. It's one of my favorite hollow toppers. It has some pink glitter in there as well, and I absolutely just am in love with it. So I went ahead and used that one to top the pink and blue. The two polishes that I used for the pink and blue were both of the Jen and Berries Protos that I'm using in my project polish. The next one is a beautiful linear hollow polish by Linby Designs. This one is However, Whatever, Whenever, and this is a oldie but a goodie. This one is a dark, like charcoal linear foiled hollow. The one thing I will say about this polish is it sucks to photograph, because when you clean it up, all of those tiny, tiny particles just kind of move around on your skin and get stuck. And you can tell with some of my swatches that I did a little extra cleanup, a little too much, around the cuticles, just trying to clean up all the stray particles to capture a couple good pictures with the hollow. So that was a little interesting. Otherwise, the polish itself is absolutely stunning. I love this polish, and it's definitely one of my favorites for the cold months. Next up, I have a bright swampy green. This one is a prototype by Jen and Berries. I absolutely love this polish. It has the most beautiful, fiery, golden gilded flakies, and they shift into a green and blue on extreme angles, but they are definitely bright orange, gold, and pink. So pretty. And you can kind of see that shimmer in the bottle there. There is like a large particle golden shimmer in there. It is just stunning. I would definitely buy a full-size version of this if Jen and Berries ever decided to release this one. The next one is a Linby Designs from the Thankful Thermals collection. So This one is kind of like a deep steel blue. It has a little bit more of a denim tone than steel blue, but it has some really beautiful like crushed leaf type of flakies. It's like a fiery golden red type of flake, and then it goes into a lighter gold, into a green on extreme angles, and then the thermal does go into like a lighter blue at this point. It was a beige, I believe. And now mine, I think the thermal pigment is dying off a little bit, but either way, I really did like the thermal side of this polish as well. And even if it goes completely inactive, this is a beautiful polish just on its own. This next one is definitely a standout for the month, probably my favorite. This one is Simply Irresistible by Shimmer. It is the most stunning, magical, shifty polish. I literally cannot believe how many shifts this polish has. It has almost like a chrome metallic effect because of the large particle like shimmers in there, and all of the goodness in here gives so much rainbow. It is like a purple base, and then it has every other color of shimmer and shift in there. It's absolutely stunning, and I am in love with this polish. This next one is such a fun, shifty fall polish. This one is Studio M's Sweet as Cinnamon. This one has some hollow of multiple sizes, as well as being a really pretty bronzy tone, almost rose gold into like a bright gold shift. So pretty. And this is a brand that I found at Meyer. You can kind of find them here in the Midwest, but their polishes are absolutely amazing. And this polish brand, Studio M, these polishes are made by Color Club. So you can almost always find these exact colors from Color Club in a different name with the Color Club bottles. So that's another little thing to note about these. Absolutely stunning polish though. This next one's one I've been waiting to wear for a while. This one is a Great Lakes lacquer. This was a small batch called What's in Your Hot Cocoa? And this one is a really pretty, like peanut buttery tan base. And then it has this really large golden shimmer particle to it, but that does shift into a green, into a blue, and then on the utmost extreme angles, you get a little bit of purple. But this one's definitely really beautiful and super shifty as well, and it's something that I definitely didn't expect. A shifty neutral is definitely something I'm into. So now I can show you all of my Halloween art manis. The first one was the Simple White Pumpkin. I absolutely loved this manicure. It was super simple, and I loved the polish combo. Oh my goodness! I used two of my Linby designs. I used Having a Gourd Time, which I think was like a Halloween custom last year or a Halloween custom, something like that. It's absolutely stunning. It's like a gray leaning white curly base with those fall leaf type of flakies, the ones that are really fiery but also shift into green and gold. And then this also has some hollows, I think hollow flake in there. And then this one is It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy, which was a polish pickup. This one was based off of Cheetos, I think, but it's a really, really shifty, pretty flaky in like a pinky orange base, but then the flakies themselves are gold to orange to like pink, and then on extreme angles you get a little bit of that green. So these worked really, really pretty together. And then I used a white and a black to do the nail art. I used Bunny Slope by Olive and June, which is one of my favorite kind of off-white polishes. It's just not ultra stark, so it's nice to have one of those in my collection because sometimes the ultra stark white can be a little too much. And then I used my trusty dusty old and crusty Heaven lacquer. This has been around forever for me, and I recently thinned it. So yeah, it may be around for a little while longer, but those are kind of what I used for the nail art, and I loved this mani. I also used that same black polish for the nail art in this one, and this was my Feelin' Batty mani, and I loved this. I finally got to use my Dom Crelly. This one is called Nothing Good Happens After Dark, and this one was from the HHC Halloween this year. This one is kind of like one of those deeper denim steel blue kind of colors, and then it has that bright yellow glitter throughout it in varying hex sizes, as well as some really small, I think they're lime green, I don't know if those are actually yellow glitters, and then there's some black micro flakies. So that's a beautiful Crelly. And then I used Adrian by Julep to kind of match those yellow glitters, and that worked really nicely together. The one thing I didn't really love about this mani was the bats themselves. I decided to stamp them instead of hand draw them. I did my bats hand drawn last year, and I think I liked those better than the smaller, more uniform stamp ones. So we shall see what I do in the future. Maybe it was just how I used it in this mani, but this was kind of an okay mani that grew on me. And then by the end, I did end up really liking it. It just gave me more like Batman vibes than actual Halloween. The next one was nice and Halloweeny though. This one was a nail lip polish called Trick or Treat. So as the name implies, it is perfect for Halloween. It is a orange flaky, and the flakies do shift from gold to green at extreme angles. And then there is a black micro flake in there, and I just feel like that is so complete for a Halloween mani. I loved this polish, and I may even try to get away with wearing it at other times of the year because it's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I really liked that mani. And my last mani of the month, I did a like vampire theme stamping mani, and it was okay. I really loved the color scheme. I really loved the petals. I used my rose petal and raspberries polish by Danny Vienna as a topper. I love using it as a topper. I topped this over Julep's, I think this is Love, and this is like a golden polish. So I really like the way these two look together in general, but I decided to do some vampire stamping. I did the bite marks, and on some of the nails it says vampire bites, as well as one nail I tried to do a stained glass stamp of the vampire scene, and it didn't turn out too well. You can't really tell what it is, but I did really love the color combo, and I absolutely loved the way these two polishes looked, as always, but I did think that a stamp with it did look okay. There were just a couple pieces to this mani that weren't spot on, so it's alright. I liked it pretty well. And it ended up snowing on Halloween here anyway, so nobody did anything. Nobody saw it. But yeah, that's kind of my monthly roundup. I got my 20 manis in, and I really enjoyed a lot of them. Glad I got a couple stamping manis in. I've been meaning to do more nail art. That definitely makes me happy. Were there any polishes you wore this month that really stood out? I would love to hear about it down in the comments. But that's it for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. And until next time, friends, thanks so much for hanging with me.